Whatever it is that you want to do in your one life that you've been given, great. Go do it. What is it? What is your passion? What gets you fired up? Do you want to be an athlete? Do you want to be an artist? Do you want to be a filmmaker? Do you want to be a president? Do you want to be the Pope? Do you want to be an astronaut? I really don't have a preference for you. I'm not here to get you to sign up for something or become something that you don't want to be. That's not my role. My role is to get you thinking about who you want to be, what kind of man you want to be. Maybe you don't know yet, that's fine. That's super fine. We're not there yet. But if you have an idea of what you're passionate about, or at least what you're interested in, let's talk about that. I know we have some athletes, we have some artists, we have some leaders, we have some scholars here. You are a good group. Your faculty thinks very well of you. I'm impressed with what I've seen last week and today. But brothers, a lot of us are talking about it and not being about it. Here's a quick way to measure if you're talking about what you're passionate about or if you're being about it. Last week we talked about if you want to be holy, like a saint, to be set apart, we have to do things differently. We can't live the way that everyone else lives and expect different results. So we said 3 things last week. Go to Mass on Sunday, 10 minutes a day in prayer, and changing our relationship with our phone. Those were the 3 things we talked about last week. The third one is what I want you to use to measure your commitment to your life, your relationship with your phone. So we talked about how last week we said the average American teenager spends 8 hours and 39 minutes a day scrolling through their phone. So we can measure how serious you are about your life based on your relationship with your phone. Because if you are on your phone more than you're practicing in your chosen sport, you're not yet serious about that sport. If you spend more time on your phone than you do talking to God in prayer, you're not yet serious about your relationship with God. If you spend more time scrolling through your phone than you do studying, you're not yet serious about your academics. So my question for you, brothers, is what do you want to be serious about? See, in my experience, there are 2 key factors that differentiate boys from men. The transition from boyhood to manhood is marked by 2 key factors. The first is that boys live for pleasure, men live for purpose. Boys live for pleasure, men live for purpose. What is your purpose? What is the thing that gets you fired up? What do you want to do with your one life? Who do you want to be? What kind of man do you want to be? And maybe we haven't asked these questions yet, and that's okay. That's what talks like this are for. Because we can start thinking about these things if you haven't yet. But what I can tell you, brothers, is that if you go from this talk and make no changes in your life, and you continue to be the kind of guy who scrolls endlessly and mindlessly, you are not differentiating yourself. And you are destined for a life of mediocrity. I don't want any of you to aim for mediocrity. I hate the word mediocrity. Do you know what that word means? Mediocrity, to be mediocre, to be average, to be ordinary. I hate it. None of you were created to be ordinary. You are created in the image and likeness of an infinite God, created for an unrepeatable destiny that only you can fulfill. Everything about your being is created for glory and excellence and passion and power and nobility. Everything about you is exceptional because you were made in the image of an exceptional God. But when we scroll hours and hours a day, we are not fulfilling our lofty calling. We are consigning ourselves to be like the rest of teenagers in America. What makes us different? We have to ask ourselves that question. So, if you change your relationship with your phone, you are putting yourself on a different trajectory. The first thing that differentiates boys from men is that boys live for pleasure, men live for purpose. The second thing that I've seen that differentiates boys from men: boys waste time, men value time.